Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris with InsideTheU here after number 8 Miami's 50-15 win at USF. Just real quick, a huge shout out to security guard checking in on me, making sure I'm doing all right. It is late here. I actually already recorded a video, but I was inside. A lot of noise, and I know many of you complain about the noise, background noise. So I'm going to do this again, because, and it's okay, because I have a lot to say about what I see with this team in this game, what I think it means kind of moving forward, and also these first 4 games. First off, for tonight, look, I think what we saw tonight was a team just really showing its relentless pursuit to be great. And it doesn't matter if they're down. They were down 15-14 in the second quarter. They had a trick play against them. Byron Brown catches the touchdown. A lot of energy on the road. USF was scoring on their first 4 drives of the game, 3 field goals and a touchdown. Look, Miami looked to be in a dogfight. And what we saw after that 15-14 lead by USF, Miami went on a spree and didn't allow a point and scored all the rest of the points in the game as they win this game 50-15. And to me, with what I saw tonight, and again, Cam Ward over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, does throw a pick as it goes through Jacoby George's hands. But like what we saw against Florida, it didn't faze him. It's not phasing this team. It doesn't faze them if they're down. They're not facing a lot of adversity, so to speak, because they are leading and leading by a lot. But even if it doesn't look right, or if it's a drop, or whatever it might be, even if it's something small, or if they're not running the ball well, or whatever it might be, it's not phasing this team, and they just keep coming at their opponents. And I think that's something to take away from the 4 games, in the sense that I think that's going to continue throughout the rest of the year. And I also think, with what I saw tonight, what I've seen from these 4 games, I think it's going to be very difficult for teams to knock off Miami because of what they can do with its passing attack. Cam Ward is in complete control. He's got 4 receivers who are legit. A lot of teams in the ACC would like to have any one of those 4 on their roster. Miami has 4 of them. They're getting them all involved. A huge shout out to Isaiah Horton. Big game, goes over 100 yards for the first time in his career. Off to a great start to his 3rd season. Also gets his first touchdown this season, first one in nearly over a year. So that's great to see. Also, first touchdown of the season by Sam Brown. So that's good to get multiple guys involved. Multiple guys got touches in this game. Cam Ward has been enjoying spreading the ball around, but that's what makes them so tough. They've got these 4 wide receivers, all capable of beating their opposition on one-on-one matchups or fitting into zones, whatever it might be. They're just very difficult to control. And look, is everything going perfectly on offense? No, they're not running the ball as well as they would like, but that's okay. The ground game, even though it's not good enough right now to carry them to a win, that they can really rely on it, they don't need to do that because of what they have in the passing attack. And I really like the pass-run splits that they have right now. And oftentimes when I look at that throughout a game, it's even 2-1. And they're not going 50-50. Now, regardless of how the game goes, and if they get big leads, it might change. Or even right now, the way that this game went, they get the big rushing total. But look, other than the Jordan Lau 91-yard touchdown run, and real quick on that one, sometimes as a press box reporter with a credential, sometimes I'm still able to be on the field in the closing minutes of a game, and tonight was one of those times. And I was in the end zone right behind Jordan Lau when he got that carry. It was great to see. Look, took the handoff and kind of got to the outside quickly and just got his burst going. Acceleration and then top end speed was on full display. Great to see out of Jordan. But other than that run, they only had one other run, at least 10 yards. It went for 10, and that was it. So they've got to improve that. They want to improve on that, but right now they don't have to lean on that, and I think that's a good sign. I hope they don't, because they are at their best with Cam Ward and the passing attack, and that's what's going to be very difficult for each and every opponent that they face this year. And what makes Cam so good, what I've seen these 4 games, and I know he's had good moments and good seasons, before he got here, but what I'm seeing and what makes him so difficult to guard and kind of contain is, yes, he's going to buy his time out of the pocket, look for his guys. It is very hard for opposition to stick with their man for longer than a few seconds, and he waits for those guys to get open. He puts the ball in good spots. He has a good mix of arm strength and accuracy, so it's working really well, and he has a lot of confidence. And speaking of confidence, I see that with this team. And look, if you ask any player, regardless of how the season's going, regardless if they're getting results as an individual or not, they're going to tell you they're confident. They haven't lost their confidence. They always say that. But I think it's real when guys get real in-game results either individually or team success. And I really believe that's what builds confidence, and that's what's happening right now with this team. There are a lot of guys playing well. They are getting big time results. The team is playing well. They seem very cohesive. The offense is doing well. The defense, there's a lot of position groups doing well. They're feeling good about themselves because of how they're performing. And when you have that, essentially a snowball effect, and oftentimes over the years with Miami, we often see it on the negative side, but it works to a positive, and that's what's happening right now. I think this is only getting bigger and better as the season goes on, and certainly they want to improve. And tonight, I thought they played better tonight than what we've seen in the past as well, just in this early part of the season. So I thought it was a great game, not just for tonight to get the win, a big score and a big result in that sense. Just moving forward, I just feel like they've got a lot of things going well for them. And even when they had a 4-0 start last year, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same to me with how this team is, or even 2017 that had that great season, started 10-0, but we know how some of those games went. We know how some of those results looked. They definitely did a great job of working through it and getting the win, regardless if it looked great or not in first or second halves. That's not what this team is right now. This is a team that has really dominated its competition and really playing at a high level and performing as one of the best units, and particularly their passing offense, for example. And that makes them very difficult to guard, but one of the best passing units in the country. And when you have that, and when you have that quarterback that can really make it go, and you do have a lot of pieces, it doesn't feel like you've got to do a lot of extra stuff. You run your plays, you take what's given to you, and you just keep it moving, drive after drive, game after game, and you're going to have a great season with that kind of mentality. And I sense that from this team. And look, it's always fun to talk about the offense, but the defense tonight I thought did a great job once again. Look, they were allowing scoring drives, but I felt like it did take some time, and Cristobal mentioned it after the game. It took some time to kind of adjust to the tempo. They're not going to see that a lot this season. It's difficult to kind of replicate in practices. Scout team can't run it as well as USF's offense can. And I thought Miami did a great job with it once they adjusted. And with that adjustment, the third quarter defense, I haven't heard a defensive coordinator talk like this as much as Lance Guidry does about the third quarter. But he really emphasizes it, that he wants to really play well, get that third quarter shutout. And the reason being, I've heard him explain this, is because even if you're winning the game, it's an opportunity for your team to stretch the lead and feel good going into the fourth quarter, maybe even put the game out of hand, which is what exactly happened in this game. Touchdown game at halftime. They go 14-0 in the third quarter, and they're out and running in the fourth, and really can't be stopped at that point. But even if you're not winning, if you're losing, it's an opportunity to play well in the third quarter defensively, get back in the game, give your offense a chance to get back in the game. So it's important, and I thought the defense did great in the two drives that they faced in the third quarter. Did a good job, didn't allow long drives or anything like that. And I just thought the defense did a really good job of tackling as well, particularly against the run. Look, USF came into the game top 10 in the country, over 250 rushing yards a game. Miami they were top 15 in rush defense, allowing under 70 a game. And that's what they did. They won the battle. They got their numbers. They didn't allow 70 yards this game. And I think everybody on the defense needs to be commended. Certainly defensive line with what they did, how they're playing, but everybody, that back seven as well, really contributed to the defense. And look, I'm talking about a lot of positives. There are a lot of positives with what's going on. Can this team get better? Yes, they can. They're going to work on some things. I know the coaching staff, for example, with the defense, giving up that 19-play drive over 7 minutes there in the first half, they'll show them that they've got to get off the field on third down better. And I think that this team understands that. I think that there's reasons for this team to feel like they haven't accomplished anything yet, and that they want to keep being great. And that's kind of my overall takeaway with what I've seen on the field and listening to them talk and how they talk. I just feel like this team isn't satisfied with what they've done already. I know they want to keep it going, and really, if we think about it, they haven't done a lot yet. Yes, they've climbed the rankings. It's been great to get in the top 10. They've been very impressive, but let's get this thing going in ACC play, and I feel like that's the mentality of this team. They haven't been to the ACC championship game in a few years. 2017 was the last one, the only time they've been there. They've got more work to do, and with how it's going right now, they certainly want to solidify themselves as not only one of the best teams or the best team in the ACC, but they want to be one of the best teams in the country, and they've got to keep performing at a really high level And I think that this team wants to do that. And just a few shout outs before I wrap this up. Finally, get off the grounds here at Raymond James Stadium. Walk-on Miles Mouillon came down with an interception, and look, it's great when any walk-on gets into the game at all, get some playing time. That's an accomplishment. They put forth a lot of effort, and it's such a grind for walk-ons. I've heard the stories, I understand it, I see it from afar. So for him to get in the game, but not just in the game, but to get a result of an interception, he was certainly excited and really excited. His teammates were cheering for him. They seemed very excited for him on his behalf because of everything he's kind of gone through with that grind. And what was so cool after the game, he jumping into the stands with the crowd and the fans, and that was certainly a good moment for him. But you know, I'm down on the field. I noticed Miles was the first one off the field, and the reason was he sprinted to the locker room because he had that game ball from his interception with him. And he's taking that thing home with him. So shout out to him and he deserves it, and that's a great moment. And I think more great moments like that for this team. I think there's been a lot of them, a lot of positive moments for this team. And I think it really can kind of carry with a lot of different guys, a lot of different units as they move forward with the year. And just my final shout out, I was thinking about it at the game here. I'm looking around, and obviously the people I work with are here, but also a lot of South Florida reporters made the trip up here. And just a shout out to everybody really providing a lot of content for you guys, the fans. I know I appreciate, you know, all of your support, but I know they do as well. And you know, I think you guys are just getting a lot of great content, as much content as possible. So shout out to everybody, and hopefully everybody gets home safe. You know, same way with the fans that made the trip up here for the game, get home safe. Or maybe you're gonna be at the game here to watch Tampa Bay play Denver, and that's why I'm out here now. They're getting that field ready. So shout out to everybody still working. I guess that's my big takeaway. I know I'm trying to put in the work, but I know a lot of people are, for you guys, the fans, and I really appreciate you guys showing your support, watching it to the end of the video. For example, right now, it means a lot to me. It really helps with the grind. It is nearly 2 a.m. right now. I still have more content to do on the game. Then I got to get back to South Florida and get ready for another game. Virginia Tech's up next. So looking forward to ACC competition. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about this team. Once again, final takeaway, it's going to take a lot to kind of derail this team because of how many things they're doing really well. And I just don't see that happening. I just don't see other teams really putting it all together. It's really going to take a lot for Miami to kind of get off track. So looking forward to the rest of the season, looking forward to the ACC getting started, and looking forward to more feedback from you guys and seeing your excitement as well. So thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the weekend, and take care.